Welcome back to Civilian Tactical, and if you're looking for questionable ballistic testing performed by somebody who has absolutely no business doing it, I'm happy to inform you, you are in the right place. Why? Well, because I found an actual military Kevlar helmet. Made for real soldiers, I want to know, can it take a direct hit from a bullet? And need I remind you, that did not go so well when we tested this against our actual military metal helmet. Now this thing claims it can stop up to 44 Magnum, but here's two things to keep in mind for today's testing. Number one, you're gonna have to just ignore my current attire. I apologize, I just came off my other job. And number two, we're gonna push past that 44 Magnum rating using some insane rounds. But join me at our table of science, because we're gonna be shooting everything from 22 all the way up to 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. And there's actually two rounds that are incredibly powerful and kind of unique, so we're actually going to save these two for last. So in today's test, we are going to learn 5 things. Number one, can this helmet stop calibers above its rated 44 Magnum? Next up, will an expired helmet like this one work just as good as a regular one? Third, will a direct hit kill you from the energy transfer alone? And fourth, can I just defeat this ballistic helmet with a and gasoline? We'll show you that in just a minute. And fifth, since these surplus helmets cost under $100, should you waste your money on an expired ballistic helmet? First up, Birdshot. No pass-through from the Birdshot, but it knocked off the paint, so you can see that Kevlar weave underneath. Next up, 22 LR. A much larger mark from the 22 LR, but on the inside, next to no bulging whatsoever. 380 auto. Now this one's crazy. We don't even need to flip this one over to see if we got pass through. You can see the back of the copper of the 380 projectile embedded into the helmet. But let's check anyway. On the inside, yeah, we got a little bit of mild bulging, but it wouldn't have touched your head. 9mm out of our Daria Arms Melik. This thing is a very slick looking gun, and well, it shoots. Okay, now am I stacking these shots way too close together? Absolutely. There's our 9mm hit, and if we flip it over, we got no pass through. And now I think we're getting into the force and deformation area where those bullets are gonna start causing damage to our head, with the most fragile part being the back of the skull. So let's pop our helmet on. And now you gotta admit, Billy Buckshot looks pretty sharp. Next up, 45 ACP out of the standard manufacturing HPX. Absolutely an insane dent from that 45 ACP. But the distance between the straps and the actual Kevlar shielding is what gave Billy Buckshot a second chance at life. Sorry, buddy, we are not done yet. Next, I have extremely high hopes for the 7.62 Tokarev. It is a necked down cartridge, so in theory, all that energy should be funneled down to the bullet a little bit more like rifles do. This Tokarev is a Zastava import Tokarev. Make sure to check these guys out because this is such a fun gun, but let's see those results. Concussive and more recoil than the 45 ACP. My goodness, the 7.62 Tokarev didn't leave a concave dent. Instead, it just punched in, which is a really good sign. But unfortunately, this yellow dent right here shows that we stopped it before it could even hit the side of the skull. The design of this helmet is actually quite ingenious. Next up, the body armor killer. This is FN57 ammunition. We're shooting it out of the Keltec PR57. Now, before we see the results of that FN57, that secret tool I mentioned earlier that we're gonna use with gasoline is a flamethrower. So we're gonna prepare our flamethrower for later by removing this battery to make it inoperable and taking it to the gas station to fill up. So now that we're at the gas station, here's the deal. Gas is expensive, and flamethrower fuel is also gas. So I'm about to drop some real money at this pump either way. But with Upside, I earn cash back on it. It's actually free. You download it, you select an offer at a gas station near you, and you fill up and pay just like you normally would. And then you get cash back with Upside on top of the regular rewards you get for your credit card. So make sure you stack those rewards because it's the same gas at the same pump, just more cash back. I actually use this thing for myself, and they have places like dining and grocery that you and me already go to. And get this, Upside has already paid out $1 billion with a B in cash back to its users. So download the free Upside app and use code CIVTAC to get 25 cents off every gallon of your first tank of gas. And given today's fuel prices, I would take 25 cents off every gallon off your first tank of gas. Again, use promo code CIVTAC, link in the description. And just like that, we've hit the top of our gas can and we're filled and ready to go. Let's go set a helmet on fire. All right, the flamethrower is ready, but this is going to be for our last test, so let's take a look at the results of the FN57. I had extremely high hopes for this thing, and we hit it right there. And popping this helmet off, we got a really impressive bulge from that 5.7, but no pass-through. Sorry, Billy, yes, we're going to be firing at you again. Billy gets a paid vacation if this video hits 1 million views, so make sure to share and hit that thumbs up accordingly. Don't tell Billy. Yeah, there's no way he's getting a paid vacation. Next up, out of the biggest revolver I own, we have our 45 Long Colt. This is starting to get into bear hunting territory, and this Taurus Raging Hunter really packs a punch. Okay, now we are talking. Look at this dent we made in the Kevlar. We're peeling it back, and that thing is looking gnarly. But on the inside, unfortunately, we have no pass-through. It didn't even make contact with his head. And the most terrifying part, look at the slow-mo. You can see that bullet, after it flattened into the Kevlar, launched off. Next up, 454 Casull, also out of the Taurus Raging Hunter. Yes, this gun can shoot multiple different rounds. Now we're getting to the most interesting results of the entire video. You can see he's kind of been liquefied. No pass-through from the 454 Casull, but that would not matter. Now 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum is even bigger. We're gonna give us a clean spot to hit. And now for 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Listen to the sound difference and the recoil difference on this versus the 454 Casull. I love 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Oh my goodness, there was no way that this helmet with a fresh hit on a fresh spot was gonna stop that 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. No way at all. That is some insane damage, but we actually have 3 less powerful rounds that we're still gonna test on this helmet because they have tricks hidden up their sleeve that could make them penetrate, just like our more powerful 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. So before we move on to recap, we've learned that yes, an expired helmet will still stop bullets. And yes, this thing is rated up to 44 Magnum. We didn't even get through it with our 454 Casull, which, need I remind you, is much more powerful than 44 Magnum. Well, we've answered 2 questions, but the third question, should you buy this for yourself at around $100? Well, if you want something that is truly bulletproof, this seems to do the trick, and it keeps those indentations from those bullets off of your head incredibly well. So yes, I would add a cheap Milsurp ballistic helmet to your arsenal, great for the money. Which of course also answers that question, the deformation alone isn't gonna kill you unless you go above the rated caliber. But first we need to know, can you defeat this with a flamethrower? And second, what about those special, less powerful rounds that could supposedly make it through? But first we need to say goodbye to Billy. Bye, Billy. It was nice knowing you, but the science must continue. And for our interesting rounds, I actually forgot to show you this earlier. This is a super hard round of 9mm, which is made out of steel powder, all compacted. And because steel is lighter than lead, it's also harder than lead. And to get our velocities as fast as possible, we have a 16-inch barrel on our Palmetto State Armory dagger. This ammo has defeated level 3 body armor in the past, so let's test it against our helmet. Right up front on a fresh spot. I absolutely love to see it. We hit right here, a valid distance from the edge and in a clean spot. And look at that, we did punch through with simple 9mm. All you need to do is carry a 16-inch barrel on your handgun and 1776 lead-free ammunition, which is impossible to find. So good luck with that one. Let me show you the next 2. This is a 45 ACP hardcast, followed up by a red and blue round, which we're just going to call a yin-yang round. Yeah, you'll see it in a second, I guess. Hardcast lead is essentially a special alloy that makes the lead extremely hard, so it's not going to deform as much on impact, in theory giving it better penetration capabilities. You know, we got a nice direct hit and no pass-through from the hardcast. That was extremely ineffective, so do not use hardcast bullets for armor penetration capabilities. And finally, a clean spot for our yin-yang round. This is red and blue on the tip, and it's a 45 ACP variant sold by Phoenix Rising Exotic Ammunition, which I will not link, and I will not tell you how to find, and for the YouTube manual reviewer, I highly recommend nobody uses this ammunition. In she goes, firing in 3, 2, 1. Ah, yes, let's look at the damage. I remember what this round is called. It's a sparkler round, which you use to celebrate birthdays. Just make sure you use it safely at the range. Yeah, a sparkler round. Look at the scorch damage. It literally peeled back layers of Kevlar. All of that black is burn marks. And on the inside, let's look at the final damage. And we got no pass-through from that extra special blue and red 45 ACP. But what about our flamethrower? Well, we put a lot of work into getting that gasoline, and we saved some good money on it, so let's get ripping. It says open valve before use. Ah, you could hear a little bit of a hiss there. We're primed and ready to go. This is the safety and that's the trigger. Now we learned that the 9mm was actually the most effective special round at penetrating this helmet, which was very surprising. And the last thing we're gonna learn is if this thing is fireproof. So before we torch this thing, make sure to subscribe because we make actual useful information built into entertaining videos to help you guys out. I really hope it helps. Let's get flamethrowing. Oh my goodness, that is hot. This thing's absolutely coated in that gasoline. Thank you, Upside. Now what I'm starting to realize is it's not necessarily the Kevlar that's burning, but all the plastic trim and all the bits around it. Generally, I think if you're wearing one of these helmets, you really should avoid getting hit by a flamethrower. Thank you for watching and subscribe to see our next video. Okay, this is Civilian Tactical from the future. We actually found that round. Look at the imprint of the Kevlar. I was just cleaning up the range, about to go home. This is one of the craziest flattened bullets I have ever seen.